I'm a bad motherfucker.
All right, this is Russell Dobular filling in for friend of show Jimmy Dore. I am joined here by my erstwhile companion, Mr. Keaton Weiss. We got Kurt Metzger in the house. We got Misha doing those super chats much more efficiently than myself. We even got Chris hanging out. We got a full house today. All right, so TikTok ban. All right, I know we're not too happy with NPR, but this article seems to check out, so we'll use it. House approves sell or be banned TikTok measure, attaching it to foreign aid bill. TikTok is now hurtling toward what is perhaps its biggest threat yet in the U.S. The House on Saturday passed legislation that could trigger a nationwide ban of TikTok if its Chinese owner does not sell the video app. The Senate could vote on the bill as soon as Tuesday. While lawmakers in the House advanced a similar bill last month, this effort is different for two reasons. It is attached to a sweeping foreign aid bill providing support for Ukraine and Israel, and it addresses concerns from some members of the Senate by extending the deadline for TikTok to find a buyer. President Biden supports the effort. That means TikTok being forced to sell or face a possible ban is on the fast track to becoming law. It would mark the first time ever the U.S. government has passed a law that could shut down an entire social media platform, setting the stage for what is expected to be a protracted legal battle. TikTok condemned the bill as an unconstitutional attack against the hugely popular service. Quote, "It is unfortunate that the House of Representatives is using the cover of important foreign and humanitarian assistance to once again jam through a ban bill that would trample the free speech rights of 170 million Americans," said TikTok spokesman Alex Horek. National security officials in Washington have feared that the Chinese government could use TikTok to promote propaganda aimed at interfering in U.S. elections or surveil some of the 170 million Americans who use the app every month. Said Jake Sullivan, "That's our job." I'm kidding. I put that in. It's not in the article. TikTok is owned by China. They were like, really? He said that. TikTok is owned by Chinese tech giant ByteDance, yet there is no publicly available evidence that government officials have ever influenced what Americans see on the app, nor any proof that officials in China have spied on U.S. citizens through TikTok. TikTok says it has built a firewall between its headquarters in Los Angeles and its parent company in Beijing, but some reports indicate U.S. user data does still move between the two.
Which reports?
It's funny.
Some?
It's funny you say that because it seems like those two paragraphs contradict each other.
Yeah.
There's no publicly available evidence, but I mean,
some
say there's okay.
I can see that blonde lizard bitch writing this.
Good eye.
She didn't.
While they're,
some
should be.
say
I
that
know. She's like right out of V. You remember that
straight
show,
out of V.
Right out of V.
She don't have the wraparound sunglasses and the jumpsuit.
While there has
that
been
should be
no
her pseudonym. But what blonde lizard? By blonde lizard bitch. They should have a byline on NPR.
That's her pronoun. While there has been no evidence made public that Chinese government officials have accessed Americans' information through TikTok, the idea that China has the theoretical ability to weaponize an app used by half of America has been enough to set off an all-out crackdown. Under the bill just passed by the House, TikTok would be given up to a year to find a company or group of investors to acquire it. That extends the timeline from the 6-month window the app was given in the original bill the House passed last month, which some senators said was too short. But that has raised a critical question among TikTok experts. What exactly would they be buying? TikTok's algorithm, the secret sauce of the app, is owned by ByteDance, And during the Trump administration's campaign against TikTok, China added content recommendation algorithms to its export control list, meaning selling the technology would require the blessing of the Chinese government. In other words, no sale will ever happen. Like maybe they could shut it down. China's never going to agree to that. James Lewis, director of the Technology and Public Policy Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, said that is a non-starter for Beijing. Quote, the Chinese said very firmly this month at senior levels that they won't let the algorithm be sold, and without it, it's an empty deal. Then there's the hurdle of the price tag itself. Given that TikTok is one of the largest and most popular social media platforms in the world, its value would put it out of reach for all but the largest tech companies. It's not known exactly how much TikTok is worth, but analysts peg its privately owned parent company, ByteDance, at around $225 billion. TikTok is by far the company's most successful service. If a Silicon Valley giant attempted to take over TikTok, that would almost certainly attract scrutiny from antitrust enforcers in Washington, who have grown increasingly skeptical of deals that increase the reach of already massive tech firms. Lewis is doubtful the latest push will result in ByteDance letting go of TikTok, but he noted it does forestall the issue until after the November presidential election. Quote, the bill buys time to figure out a real solution while putting space between passage and the election. All right, so the ACLU actually took the right side on this issue.
No.
They're not. Yes, they are not. They are not the reliable ally of free speech they once were. But on this one, they took the right side. Quote, make no mistake, the House's TikTok bill is a ban, and it's blatant censorship. Today, the House of Representatives voted to violate the First Amendment rights of more than half of the country. The Senate must reject this unconstitutional and reckless bill. Now, okay, this is what we call in the business the money shot. You want to know why they actually want to ban TikTok and why all of a sudden this moved so fast? This had been just fanciful for so many years, and all of a sudden they found the political will to make this happen. So this is S. Jones here. The reason Congress wants to ban TikTok is that the hate group ADL identified it as a problem for Zionist Israel. This is all about political censorship at the behest of a foreign country, and we have that audio, so listen up.
We played this before, you don't remember?
Listen. The real game, and he concludes, is the next generation.
So birthright.
We need a final solution for Gen Z. A final solution for these young people.
So if you wonder why all of a sudden this came together so fast and everybody seems to be for it, other than the usual suspects, Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, your libertarians, why all of a sudden were they able to get this through and it actually looks like it's going to pass? Well, that's why. Now, China is not going to give up the algorithm. So at best, what this amounts to would just be TikTok would be illegal within the United States. Now, of course, could you get that through courts? Could you get that through our
VPN?
judicial system? Probably not. I would imagine that you can't. We do let other foreign social media companies operate within the United States. So would you be able to justify in an actual court say out this one country's app? I don't think so. I don't think so. And if they did, what would happen? And this is what they want. All that business would go to Meta, and they control Meta. So they don't mind spying. Yeah. It just needs to be our spying.
Well, right, and it's American censorship at the behest of people who the American Congress, have already cucked, right? Like, don't forget, China supports a Palestinian state. China supports a ceasefire.
Right.
So they're less likely to censor on behalf of, Jake Sullivan, and whereas like Zuckerberg will. To a lesser extent, Elon will, although Elon's been far better than Zuckerberg has on this. I mean, Instagram is just impossible now. And so, yeah, that's what they want to do. It's not that they mind young people having a place to post, short form videos. It's that they want whatever that forum is to operate the way they want to. And so they'd rather funnel all of that traffic to Meta, where they know that Zuckerberg is going to censor how they want him to.
Right.
They can't trust the Chinese to do that same thing.
Right. And even with Elon, I got to say, when I'm doing research for the show, if I have to find videos, if, for example, we're doing something about the university protests later, and most of the top videos on X of that footage are going to be conservatives saying something has to be done about these students, I don't believe that's organic. I just don't believe that. I believe that's Elon wants the algorithm where it shows those issues to be framed by people who are anti-Palestine.
Yeah, we're seeing videos all over the place today of that skinny Jewish assistant professor, Shai David, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
He couldn't get into campus. They deactivated his ID, and there's videos all over the place of him standing at the gate, not being allowed in. All of a sudden, he's anti-checkpoint, right?
Right.
All of a sudden, checkpoints are bad.
Right.
Who'd have thought?
All right, Misha, to you.
Okay.
They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate shitty coffee? I, for one, really hate shitty coffee, which is why I'm excited to introduce to you a company that's revolting against shitty coffee, and it's called the 1775 Coffee Company. Now, I haven't had it yet because I only drink decaf. Steph has had it. Steph, how do you like it?
I really like it. I've been, you know what? I have a French press, and so I've been using my French press and totally enjoying it. It's delicious. It's smooth. It's smooth.
So 1775, the world awakened. In 1775, the world awakened to a new era. And now it's 1775 Coffee Company is bringing you a coffee that embodies that revolutionary spirit. Crafted with passion and precision, our beans are ethically and exclusively sourced from the finest coffee beans farms of Bolivia. Didn't know that. 1775 Coffee Company's farm-to-cup journey ensures the highest quality of authenticity and sustainability from start to finish. With each sip, your palate will recognize and appreciate the dedication and passion that goes into crafting this single-sourced brew. 1775 Coffee Company takes pride in offering customers a truly exceptional coffee experience with their premium coffee collection. But their dedication to this revolution extends beyond the realm of taste. Safeguarding freedom of speech is critical right now, which is why 1775 Coffee Company has joined forces with Rumble in defense of one of our most fundamental rights, freedom of speech. Coffee that's sure to awaken all your senses, including the sense of freedom. So choose 1775 Coffee by going to 1775coffee.com/litter. That's LITTER, and use the code LITTER for 10% off the checkout on your first order. 1775 Coffee, brewed to perfection, crafted with revolution.